Aw yeah, River's back with some cool tech. Today I want to show you the gaming performance on the Android MK808 mini PC. So also quickly show you some CPU benchmarks and compare them to some phones. So I run a LinPack on all my phones just to see how they've improved over the years. So single core 36, not bad. And multi-core 54, let's try it again, 57, so that's pretty good. Here's the information about the CPU. So it's a dual core. You can see each core of the processor here. It goes from a minimum frequency of about 260 megahertz to 1.2 gigahertz. Now I know it's advertised at a 1.6 gigahertz processor, and I found an update for the firmware that's supposed to bring it up to 1.6, but honestly I might just leave it because it runs nice and cool and it's really fast now, so I hate to even mess with it, but I'll put a link to in the description below. So let me show you a comparison. This is my Samsung Galaxy S2, and it's got similar CPU readings, but it's a little bit faster, probably a more efficient processor. Dual core, 1.2 gigahertz. Let's run LinPack on there. So single core 45, so a little bit higher than the MK808, but not much, pretty much in the same ballpark. And multi-core also real similar to the MK808. Now for comparison, I'll throw in the Samsung Galaxy S3. So it's got a 1.5 gigahertz dual core processor, but the architecture on this is all new and much more efficient. If you jump the MK808 up to 1.6 gigahertz, it's not going to be as fast as this 1.5 gigahertz processor, I guarantee that. Let's go ahead and run LinPack on here and see how it runs. So 90 for single core mode and 170 for dual core mode. So the Galaxy S3 is nice and fast. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what how you can compare the MK808 to a phone. Here's the controller I got to do this review, and it's just a cheap generic controller I got from Amazon for like $9. Honestly, I don't really recommend it because the buttons on top there by my fingers are not easy to press, but we'll go ahead and hook it up, put it in the OTG port on the side of the MK808, and we're ready to game. First up we have Grand Theft Auto 3, and I just want to show you how it handles on the MK808. It actually does really well. A lot of the bigger name titles seem to do really well on this Android mini PC. Some of the smaller games gave me a problem, like you couldn't get past the menu because you couldn't use the mouse on the buttons and things like that. One glitch I did see with the Android mini PC was the screen would occasionally flash black and the game would be playing in the background, but the screen would just be blacked out for a second. Also, all these games that I'm going to show on here were made for Android, and I bought all of them. They're the full versions except for Sonic, which is a free version. And I did install a couple emulators and played a couple ROMs, and I'm not going to show that on here, but just rest assured they do work fine. Next up is a space shooter called Alpha Wave. So I just discovered this while I was looking around for games to play on here, and it's $1 in the App Store, and I think it's totally worth it. It's awesome. I love shooter games where you keep upgrading and getting better and better weapons and building on your old weapons, kind of like R-Type used to be, or Galaga, that was the original like it. So this game was right up my alley, and I like it when you finally upgrade to the massive gun. I call it the BFG. Look at that, just sprays and just cleans up everything on the screen. So check this game out. It's pretty sweet if you like this, and it's nice and simple to use too. You've just got left, right, your bomb, and your big weapon upgrades. So it's easy to use on a touch screen, although I'm using it on the controller. All I'm doing is going left and right. It auto fires for you, which is really nice. Next up is Reckless Racing, and this is a top-down driving game, but it's 3D rendered, so it looks really good, and it actually has really cool physics on it too. I just wanted to give you an example that there's all different kinds of games that can be played on the Android mini PC. I don't think the MK808 is the Android gaming console that everyone has been hoping for, but it's a really good start. I mean, having an option to use a controller is really nice. It makes gaming much more enjoyable. I just can't stand the on-screen buttons. I pretty much gave up on gaming since I've had the Android and had to use on-screen buttons, but since I discovered so many good games on Android lately, I decided to go ahead and buy the Moga mobile gaming system. I'll do a review of it as soon as I get it, and I'll put a link to it in the description below. But it's a Bluetooth joystick that your phone connects to, and then you can play all your games so you don't have to use the annoying touchscreen. Also, you could hook your Android smartphone to your TV with HDMI and then play with the wireless Bluetooth controller that way. Check out my other videos, it shows how to do that. I put the classic version of Sonic on just so you could see what a side-scrolling arcade game looks like. And the game itself looks nice, but it's a little glitchy, and it's probably not the fault of the game, but the MK808. What it does is the screen flashes black, and the game keeps playing in the background while the screen flashes, so it's real distracting to try to play. Hopefully they'll fix this with a software update. See, there it is. That's what I mean. So the game kept going while it flashed black, so kind of annoying, but there is some updates out I've seen, but I'm kind of afraid to do it because they're in Chinese. I'll put a link to the update in the description down below. You can see what you think. Finally, I wanted to put another world on here so I could show you some retro gaming. So this game's also known as Out of This World, and it's been redone. If you go in the settings, you can turn it into a high resolution 720p mode. I didn't do that on here, I just realized it now, but the game is actually pretty cool. Back in 1991 when it came out, I really wanted this game, and it cost like $45. Now you can buy it for $2.50 in Google Play. I actually had Another World on my phone for a long time, but I never really played it much because it was so hard trying to use the touchscreen on the phone to play it. Now that I have this Android mini PC, it's much easier to play, and I enjoy it a lot more, so it's definitely worthwhile to try gaming on the Android mini PC. I hope you enjoyed my review of gaming on the Android MK808 mini PC. I'll put a link to the page that I found for the software update for the MK808 in the description down below. And check out my links to the Moga gaming controller and also how to link your Android smartphone to your TV. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like this video, and give me a like, it'll help me out a ton. And as always, thanks for watching, and aloha!